Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Olivia Edwards, who is a director at Cel AI. How are you today, Olivia?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I suppose the last we heard from you is that you raised £10 million at 0.2 pence. I think your shares are 0.27, so that's clearly a win. Lots of Bitcoin treasury companies out there and more arriving every day. Maybe the simplest way of knowing more about Cel AI is if you can tell us what's a differentiator as far as your company as compared to the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we kind of have a three-part answer here. The first part would be that some companies are using their Bitcoin treasury strategy as a passive hedge or a binary play alongside their core operations, but we've at Cel built a uniquely integrated approach. So we've created a flywheel model where our participation on Bitensor, the decentralized AI ecosystem, generates daily tau as a reward emission, which we systematically reinvest, putting it back into Cel and the network, as well as converting it into our Bitcoin treasury strategy. So in that sense, our treasury growth is directly tied to our operational performance, not separate. Point number two would be kind of who we're doing this for and how we're doing it. So we're targeting underserved communities and younger generations who already live online and they're already creating and consuming content, but often without access to kind of financial empowerment tools. So we're meeting them where they already are, using this common language of wellness, beauty, and self-care as a gateway into Web3 and decentralized finance. So the goal here is to be kind of an inspiration and a pathway into this whole on-chain world and helping them reclaim confidence and wellness, while also giving them a window into financial freedom and into the digital economy. And then third would be that Cel's designed to be lean and scalable. We don't have heavy operational overhead, no offices, and we have a very decentralized structure. So this allows us to channel all of our resources directly into growing Cel and our Bitcoin treasury rather than the traditional fixed costs that some companies see. So I think overall, we're not just adopting a Bitcoin strategy for its own sake of adopting it, but we're using it as part of a mission to create financial and personal empowerment for a generation that has been left out of it and needs it most, and then aligning it alongside our operational performance to build a resilient and future-facing business.
Right, so the Generation Z people, as you would say in America, they would be looking at your company and you would be looking at them.
Yes, definitely. So targeting, this generation that does live online already.
Right, and in terms of the company itself, there are a lot of companies, as I've alluded to at the beginning, who sort of got into this sort of stampede or bandwagon of Bitcoin treasury. One of the other differentiators is between, the good ones and the not so good ones is the experience of the management in the crypto area. You get the feeling that some people are getting into this, don't know one end of a crypto from the other. So what is the experience, on your board as far as your strategy is concerned?
Yeah, so for me personally, I grew up in a Bitcoin family. I grew up around Bitcoin treasury companies. I watched Argo blockchain get launched and later NFT investments be listed. So I've seen from an early age firsthand potential of what decentralized tech can do to open doors to financial empowerment. I've also personally have worked on numerous crypto related projects leading up to this position.
So you have that background, this is not new for you in the way that maybe the Generation Xers who sort of still make up the bulk of the investors in the market, they're not really aware of this. It's quite a new thing. So for you, Bitcoin treasury is not a new thing at all.
No, definitely not. And on top of that, my university degree at the University of British Columbia is in AI. So I have kind of two sides of the coin for this. Our core operational business, which is in the decentralized AI space, have experience with that, building AI products, and my education's in that. And then in Bitcoin and crypto on the more practical real life experience side.
Right. So on that basis, maybe you could the sort of the question, which is a general one, maybe you can tell the audience whether you think we're just at the foothills of the Bitcoin treasury strategy phenomenon, just at the foothills of AI, or is this, a bubble that's already ready to burst?
Definitely. I think we are just the foothills. I mean, Bitcoin's been growing year over year, despite having its up and downs overall, has been growing. And with tech or with AI specifically, I think, yeah, very much just at the beginning, like exponential growth in the next couple of years and seeing how it kind of weaves itself into the workplace and into personal lives as well.
I think the other point is that you've raised your money, raised 10 million pounds, and I suppose the other thing about being in a relatively new area, at least for the stock market, is how do you value a company like Cel AI? Do you just say, well, actually, you raised 10 million, so it's worth 15 or 20, or what's your personal sort of angle on that?
On that, valuing it on the team behind the company working on it, and also obviously the raise plays a big part in that. But also, I guess with Bitcoin treasury strategies, looking at the Bitcoin they hold, and also, I guess for us, we have also these tau emissions that we're earning every day. So right now we're earning approximately 10 tau a day, which at $413, that's 4,000 a day, 365 days a year because it runs 24/7.
Yeah, so I mean, that seems to be a bit of a perpetual money machine. Is it as good as it sounds?
We think so. I think so.
Why doesn't everybody do it? If it's that easy, it seems to be something which is, I'll say, too good to be true. But what are the skills involved in that?
Well, with the Tau and Potensor network specifically, they've closed all new subnet registrations. So the subnet in itself, which we're using to build Cel, our decentralized AI, is a scarce asset in its own sense, kind of like how Bitcoin is a scarce asset. So it's a sense it's not open for everyone. There's only 128 subnets available, which have
Right.
now been purchased.
Finally, you are where you are at the moment with the recent fundraise. How are you going to deploy that money, and what can we expect in coming months in terms of your strategy, finessing where you are at the moment?
Yeah, so the next 12 months are focus on executing and scaling our core strategy. So focusing on advancing Cel. Cel right now acts as our chief marketing officer, chief product officer, and central intelligence within the company, but we envision her in the future doing more. Let's say our financial director needs a bookkeeper, advancing Cel to be able to help with other positions in the company. So continue to increase her intelligence and making her more capable and increasing the value she brings to users and the company, and then continue systematically stacking Bitcoin using the flywheel model we've built, plus any subsequent raises. Yeah, the activity in our ecosystem is generating those emissions and supporting both the growth of Cel and our treasury. So we're scaling on what we've proven works and expanding Cel's reach within this decentralized ecosystem on Potensor, growing our community, deepening our treasury strategy, and all while staying lean. My goal personally is to build $1 billion company with one employee, which is me with the support of Cel.
Well, we wish you all the best. In the meantime, Olivia Edwards, director at Cel AI, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me, Zach.